What's next? Something strange happens when I do these videos. As I'm walking, sometimes I completely forget where I've been or how I got there at the end until I end the video and look around saying, how did I get over here? What path did I take to get here? And I always wonder, did I phase out? I mean, how does that happen? And I kind of think that somehow parts of my higher self get exposed or influence some of the things I say in my video. Because honestly, when I do pause in my videos and I don't say anything, sometimes it's like full conversations are going on in my head at different levels. Spirits who are never physically alive, who discuss things and try to offer advice, but a lot of times it's a discussion between higher spirits in my higher self saying to the higher spirits, that's not quite how it works in the physical world. That's interesting, and a lot of times these conversations can be very long, but in the time that physical time, very short, which is good. Not too many pauses in my videos. But I mean, kind of also why I do these videos, because I have a lot of thoughts in my head and I do hear different voices, and not like schizophrenia where these are negative voices fighting with you, telling you to do bad things. These are positive voices trying to offer advice, but it's like giving you advice, someone trying to give you advice who's never done anything. Like somebody who gives you advice on how to sail when they've actually never been in a sailboat. They've never sailed a boat. They've never even been in the ocean. But they've read a lot of books. They've talked to a lot of people who use sailboats. They've watched a lot of videos. That's what it's kind of like talking to spirits, because they can offer you advice because they have libraries of information. They have lots and lots of resources that they can look into, but they have never actually lived a physical life. And that's the difference between being a physical being and being a spiritual being. A spiritual being has unending amounts of data, unending amounts of information, but they've never really done anything with it. They can only look at it. And my higher self, which is part of me, but it's still the spiritual side of me that kind of tries to use the information that I have, a physical being, have, trying to translate it into the spiritual side and try to have a happy medium. I mean, our higher selves are still part of us, but they're the highest part of ourselves, who are kind of like our physical body is a piece of an iceberg, where our spiritual being is the whole iceberg itself. You only get part of the whole thing. There's only so much living, spiritual living, you can do in a physical body, but it's what needs to be done to get all aspects of existence, I think. It's hard to express, but I understand spirits kind of envy us, because we get to feel emotion, we get to feel, unfortunately, pain and anguish. But it's like people who play video games. This is a very good example. When you play a video game, you get to go through all the emotions, all the actions, but in the end, it really doesn't matter, because you can just play again. And our higher selves are the player of the game, and our physical beings are the poor individual, the poor character going through the motions in the video game. it's not the best action because a video game character doesn't feel pain yet. That's a terrible thing to say, but maybe that's what we are. Maybe we're just some kind of aspect of a video game that's so advanced that it allows us to feel pain and anguish. But our higher selves get to play all these different scenarios to see how we do. And there are many characters, and some of those characters don't have aspects of their higher selves. Maybe they're NPCs because right now they're not playing the game because their spiritual self is off doing something else. Or playing another game because I still believe that we live in multiple parallel timelines at the same time. But that's another story in itself. So maybe there are parts of us, maybe the people we meet every day, some are connected to the higher selves and some are not. Here's a very good thought process. And I welcome anyone who critiques my ideas, because I mean, even at 50 years old, I still don't know what I'm talking about. I just discuss things, try to get an idea of what they might be, try to think about it, try to come to a conclusion from what I know, and then try to learn and improve myself. But that's just my ideas. I don't know what that music is, but it might be copyrighted. And I'm far away from it because I'm far away from the parking lot, but I guess I'll end it here. What's next?